Hello, I'm Syeda Zainah Binte Habib, the founder of FlexBiz, and I also own a jewelry business called Bling Co. So FlexBiz began last year when the pandemic outbreak took place. I went and I visited two of my friends on one particular day. One owned a gym and another owned a restaurant. And I really liked the work they did. Unfortunately, a week later, the lockdown took place and I started thinking, what happens to all these ventures when they begin with a big break and then ultimately, you have that moment where you're thinking what's next, and then pandemics don't come invited. So I decided, why not I help people in whichever way I can, even during this lockdown, by sharing some of my resources, or if I may say so, my network. Therefore, I created this community group called FlexBiz. So the name itself, it represented what I was thinking at that point of time. So I was thinking, okay, I need to be flexible. It's about people's businesses, it's about their talents, it's about their ventures, it's about them. So they need a platform. They need a platform where they can flex their own selves. So I was thinking, okay, why not put the two together? You be flexible, you bring your businesses, and you flex your talents. So it should be FlexBiz. That's how the name came about. And I haven't looked back since then. FlexBiz began with an initiative to just help people. And I'll share my story behind it. My friends, a few of them, they launched some very good initiatives themselves. For example, one launched a gym and another launched a restaurant. And unfortunately, within that week of launching, the pandemic outbreak was severe in that Bangladesh, the lockdown took place. And after the lockdown took place, I started thinking, as a law-abiding, empathetic citizen, that I should do my part in trying to contribute. And how may I do that sitting at home? So I felt, let's begin by starting a community group. So the name then started, I started thinking about the name behind it and how the name might represent the initiative itself. Therefore, FlexBiz came to my mind, and I'll tell you why. FlexBiz came to my mind because the adaptability to be flexible and also to speak about one's businesses, ventures and talents should give one the platform to flex their skills. Therefore, I thought, why not bring it all together and call it FlexBiz. The first project produced by FlexBiz was the diversity campaign. To this day, by God's grace, I have only received praises for it. I intend to take it forward, and each year I have done so. Since its inception in August 2020, we had the first transgender bridal campaign in November 2020, and now intending to take it forward, we are having a season 3, which hopefully will be the season finale for diversity, because now we intend to rise beyond diversity and take the concept of inclusivity further. So I hope you will stay tuned for the next one and support me as you have been doing so for all the campaigns so far. Bling & Co is very close to my mother, as it is a projection of her own aesthetic. And with that being said, it also allowed me as a creative person to build a brand from scratch, something that is close to my family, something that is close to me. Every piece of jewelry I feel defines a person's look to the exquisite max possible. My mother always told me that an earring can be your statement. You don't need to wear much of makeup. A bit of a neck piece can add the poise that you seek. A bit of bracelets or bangles, they help add to your femininity. And so these have played a fundamental role in making me embrace Bling & Co for what it is. The name behind Bling & Co is that sparkles and more. So you get to embrace the spark within you and be more than just your jewelry. Facebook groups, girl groups and boy groups. There's always a sense of distinction between the two. I felt when I started FlexBiz that distinction needs to go. And in order to eradicate that disparity, I made it all inclusive, therefore catering to male, female and beyond. So, having said that, FlexBiz started off with the notion of bringing people together. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, entrepreneurs, philanthropists and so much more. People liked the concept behind it, they liked the ideology, and Alhamdulillah, there were 500 members within less than 12 hours. That response made me believe that I may have created something fruitful and I need to work on it. And it motivated me to take it forward by taking my initiatives further. How would I do that? I started doing that by thinking about making some services available. Seeing that, one of my friends, I remember, he's a really cool barrister. He really liked the whole notion behind FlexBiz and offered his services as a gift to help the members of my community group flourish by having access to free legal consultations whenever necessary. He felt that the empathetic approach that I took while creating FlexBiz was something that inspired him to also be empathetic in his conduct and approach to contributing to society. Seeing him, 4 or 5 more people followed, and the legal team now, by God's grace, is very strong. From that to now, we have services, communal services, which are still exclusive to the group members. We have free telemedicine, free access to telecounseling, also access to gynecological consultations. Seeing the whole concept behind FlexBiz, my very empathetic friend, a barrister, came forward to offer his services. Seeing him, a few more people, few more lawyers I would say, followed, and together all of them have contributed to 500 free consultations for FlexBiz members so far. Though that's a rough figure, there are plenty more. I will just mention 500 for now. In order to make communal services more accessible, I felt now in addition to legal aid, telemedicine should be brought to the forefront. Therefore, free telemedicine was introduced by FlexBiz, and 2 of my friends came with the idea to provide the services as a charitable cause first, and then to help develop FlexBiz better for its community, for the people. Through our telemedicine services, we have been able to cater to the mass public in a very humble way. For example, midnight anxieties. We took into perspective that a lot of people will be anxious in the middle of the night, and we were ready to attend to them 24/7. After positive response, we decided that we will open the doors to other forms of queries as well, including catering to nutritional guidance, mental health, and the reproductive health as well. To cater to the healthcare needs, we have doctors, we have gynecologists, nutritionists, psychiatrists, and PCOS coaches. From communal services, we have seen a sustainable growth even within FlexBiz. Therefore, it's become mandatory to introduce some packages which could benefit both the community and the people who are contributing to the community. So, we've begun with graphic designing services, in addition to which we also have tech support now, and we are expanding to consultancy as well. Graphic designing services are an essential part of every business, especially in this competitive era of globalization. Therefore, I thought, why not make these resources on a professional level accessible to all? We've kept the budget extremely friendly and cost-effective for the mass public out there, so that no startup owner feels left out, especially when graphics is advancing day by day. For growth and innovation, tech support is essential. Henceforth, from FlexBiz, we are offering website design and app development as part of our services as well. Tech and graphics go hand in hand together, and this may not be noticeable at first. However, there are two sides of the same coin. So, from choosing your color scheme to your logo, you need graphics to support tech, and you need tech to make the graphics go viral. So, for example, Food Panda. Food Panda's pink, we know that. Who was behind the logo? It was a graphics designer. We order food from Food Panda via the app, right? So yeah, this is how intrinsic it is for us to mention the relationship between graphics and tech. To enhance the creative mindsets further, we decided, let's go global. How must we do that? That's where tech plays a fundamental role. To support the movement of digital transformation, we are providing facilities such as website design and app development as well. Therefore, with our graphic designing packages and our tech support, we ensure that you have a one-stop solution to your branding strategies. Communication is an effective tool to find out what your consumer is really looking for. Therefore, we conducted a webinar session that catered to the mass questions out there, especially covering topics like risk evaluation and analytics. Taking the data from there onwards, we decided we should include this as a service for one of our packages. And we have business consultation with risk evaluation as a key service now as a part of FlexBiz packages. I always perceived FlexBiz to be a helpful platform. Therefore, it was essential for me to introduce the price range with the packages then and there, instead of creating any suspense around it. So that when people see it, they feel as though, yes, this is something I can relate to or access easily. And therefore, this is the price range we have decided upon. And we have opted out of providing personalized quotations. Our new slogan is collaboratively creative. What this means is that we will always keep some services free because it is all about the art of collaboration, not competition. Many people have asked me, why do I provide certain services for free? Well, the answer is simple. I intend to make resources accessible to all. Just think once. When models come to us, aspiring models, they look to build their portfolios, right? So, how does one increase their face value? How does one build their own image and their own brand value? They do it through portfolios. We believe in making those portfolios happen, in building those portfolios. Through certain shoots or just simple documentary projects, you get to explore different artists from amateurs to established ones. You bring them together and then you bring this sense of equality to the balance. And what this does in return is it makes us as a society aware of how many hidden talents there are in this community, in our own country, and this is why I believe in supporting local and also in initiating changes through innovation by bringing together people from the technical side, the technical team, through each project, through each shoot. It is not just the models who are benefiting. We have artists, makeup artists, we have sponsors, wardrobe sponsors, we have jewelry sponsors, we have accessory sponsors, and also we have the technical team who play a fundamental role in making contents for us. So think about all the editors who get to also add wholesome contents to their portfolio. Think about the videographers, think about the photographers, think about the people who are endorsing brands, and think about the brand owners themselves. We want to cater to people in a way that makes them comfortable in their own skin. Up to 16 years of age, I was in Bangladesh. I studied here. I was only in about year 9 when I left for England. So I completed my high school education in England, and then I progressed on to doing my A-levels and then my undergrad degree and my master's eventually. So I did my undergrad degree in English, Language and Literature from St. Mary's University in London, and then I progressed on to with a master's degree in International Relations from Royal Holloway, University of London. I made a return to Bangladesh in 2018 in order to contribute to society and also come and visit family members back here. And from that moment onwards, when I came back, I realized that there's a lot I could do to maybe help the developmental phase in Bangladesh. For example, I think my degrees and also the skills that I may have within me, I felt that maybe it's time to improvise and also make it possible for others to benefit from my resources. England taught me to be self-reliant in that I am very independent when it comes to meeting deadlines, when it comes to work pressure, when it comes to making things happen. I would encourage everybody to pick those skills up from the British people because nobody relies on anybody there. Bangladesh has a lot of scope for development, for further improvement, because there is so much talent here. So if we could all become a little bit more self-reliant and incorporate this as part of our daily life, a lot more can happen. Bangladesh has taught me to be practical, very pragmatic in my approach to work. In England, I would say idealization, morals, ethics, they mattered a lot. But in Bangladesh, it's more about making all those things happen. Implementing my best, persisting something regardless of the obstacles and still staying resilient and fearless nonetheless. So yes, I will thank Bangladesh from the very core of my heart for allowing me to embrace my individuality, for strengthening my dynamics, and for making me realize that ethics and idealization can only take you, up to a point. And it is then the whole pragmatics of the situation that will make you flourish in the long run. So I thank both these countries for developing me to be the person that I am today. So the future plan with FlexBiz is to make corporate services available to you all, to further initiate changes and progress through tech support and effective graphics designing. Also help you build your image in such a way that you also have a platform, a flourishing platform whereby you can promote yourself as well as be promoted by us. To me, everybody's a human being first. I don't look at their gender, I don't look at their identity, I don't look at their ethnicity, complexion, body type, nothing. They are just an individual and their individuality matters the most to me. Therefore, FlexBiz will always be all-inclusive, welcoming participants, models, brand ambassadors, people from all walks of life and from every gender out there, catering to male, female and the transgender community respectfully. FlexBiz, I intend to make it go global for one reason, so that whether I'm here in this country or somewhere else, when I'm pursuing other passions, people are here to pursue their own passions and FlexBiz will be there for them. I want it to be the first stage of many artists to dance on, to sing on, to share their talents with. I want it to be a place where they feel comfortable, where they come and they express themselves with no discrimination, with no disparity, and they feel free to be themselves and embrace their individuality and progress collaboratively. Thank you so much, Real Chamak, for this thoughtful interview. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel.